Chapter 13. Umbridge catches us. Do you want to... You know, he said awkwardly. We could die tonight when Lucius brings in the Death Eaters, I pointed out. I don't want to die a virgin. Okay, but we could get in real trouble for doing it in a teacher's office, said Draco, as he started romantically rubbing his forehead against my cheek. I don't care anymore, I said. I only want your love, Draco. Draco threw me on Gilderoy's desk and jumped on top of me there. He started kissing me passionately, causing my arms and legs to twist around and knock Gilderoy Lockhart's foes off himself onto the floor. I felt so turned on as Draco started to pull off his rum-charged sports jacket and maroon t-shirt with Robert Patterson on it, revealing his sexy chest. At the same time, I pulled off my Oxford tank top, though I still had my bra on. As Draco came to kiss me again, he pushed his hot pink pants down. After he kicked his pants onto the floor, Draco reached behind me to start undoing my forest-green bra. What the hell is this? Draco jumped off the desk, and I looked up to see Umbridge. I covered my brow with my hands, but Draco was wearing nothing but his purple Angora boxers, orange rugby socks, and suede shoes. I was so embarrassed. Please don't tell anyone, I begged. Umbridge laughed. I'm going to tell the whole school, she laughed. Even your father, Draco. And you're both going to have detention with the blood quill tonight. No one is to have sex in my school. It's not your school, it's Dumbledore's, yelled Draco, who was standing there shaking. It's mine now, said Umbridge evilly, and you two are going to be watched at all times so you can't try to have sex ever again. I felt a sharp stab in my heart. This was so unfair. Draco was my true love, and now I couldn't even give myself to him. Would Umbridge even let us kiss? Umbridge laughed. If I hear about you trying to have sex again, she said, you'll both be expelled forever. Are you beginning to see what's wrong with these chapters and why it feels like they should be just separate scenes in the same chapter and not individual chapters on their own? Chapter 14. Detention with the Blood Quill. Draco and I went to the detention with Umbridge that night. She was sitting in her office with pictures of kittens and stuff. I want you to write that you will not have sex ever in your lives, said Umbridge. You won't be needing any ink. Yeah, I've done this before, I said without thinking. What do you mean? Asked Umbridge. I've never spoken to you before in my life, Crystal Potter. Oh, never mind, I said quickly. I just misspoke. Okay, that makes sense, said Umbridge. Draco and I started writing the message while Umbridge drank Sprite from her teacup. Of course, we didn't mean it, and we were planning to have sex as soon as we could get away from Umbridge. In fact, while Umbridge wasn't looking, Draco used the blood quill to draw a heart with my name in it, causing it to briefly appear on his hand like a tattoo. I even crossed a T for Draco so that we would be blood brother and sister. Suddenly there was a loud boom. We looked out the window and saw a whole bunch of Death Eaters running into the castle. Umbridge screamed and dropped her teacup to the floor. Lucius burst into the office with Fenrir, Bellatrix, and Ron. How could you? Umbridge shrieked. I thought we had a deal. We did a pinky swear, remember? I had my fingers crossed behind my back, said Lucius smugly. Damn the loopholes, yelled Umbridge. Avada Kedavra, said Lucius, pointing his wand at Umbridge. She flew out the window and fell into the moat. Ha ha, now there's one less ugly woman in the world, laughed Ron happily. Bellatrix looked uncomfortable with how sexist Ron was. We know you're really Harry Potter, Crystal, said Lucius. Draco, kill her and join us or die. Draco looked like he didn't know what to do. I saw tears welling up in his eyes. He wouldn't kill me, would he? Well, he didn't have the nerve to kill Dumbledore, so... Chapter 15. Rescue. Author's note. One reviewer think I'm a troll. Well, I'm not a troll, and I don't think I need a lobotomy, lol. You might have thought I'm a troll because of the comedy parts, but notice this is partially a humor fic. Still, the romance and the Death Eaters stuff is serious. In case you were wondering why I decided to read this story, this would be it. I could have easily just brushed it all aside as a big joke, but it seems the author is completely serious about this bad relationship with Malfoy and villainizing of Ron. I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but looking at VenusGodsFanfiction.net page reveals she really hates Ron, to the point of saying his middle name is Satan, and calling him her least favorite Death Eater, even though Ron is not a villain. She also gushes over Malfoy and how her favorite ship is him and gender-swapped Harry. This has some unfortunate implications that may not seem noticeable now, but will be a few chapters later down the line. Story. I'll never kill her, yelled Draco loudly. I'd rather die. Then so be it, laughed Lucius, holding up his wand. Draco grabbed my hand and we jumped out the broken window together. The green light from Lucius's wand just barely missed us. No! Screamed Lucius as we got away. Once on the ground, a whole bunch of Death Eaters started chasing us. You'll never escape now, laughed Ron as he watched us through the broken window. Girls can't run very fast, he added, because he was sexist. The Death Eaters fired curses at us as we ran towards the forbidden forest. Suddenly a rope came down in front of us. I looked up to see Sirius and Gilderoy flying on Buckbeak. Hurry, climb on, yelled Sirius helpfully. We climbed onto Buckbeak. He started to fly us away from Hogwarts. You won't escape us that easily, you fools, said Lucius. He turned into smoke and chased us. Reducto, said Gilderoy with his wand. The spell hit Lucius and made him fall like when Ginny used it. He didn't die because he landed on Umbridge's dead body, and she was so fat that he bounced and landed softly on the ground. No! Shouted Lucius as we flew out of sight. Where will we go now? I asked in a worried voice. I can't go back to the Dursleys as a girl, I said, even though I wouldn't want to go there anyway. We'll take you both to Malfoy Manor, said Sirius. But my dad lives there, and he's trying to kill us, Draco pointed out. He'll be haunted by the Ministry by now, so they won't let him go back there, replied Sirius. Okay, I said. Consistency, thy name is not becoming female. Chapter 16, Draco's House. We all arrived at Draco's house on Buckbeak. Narcissa was there. Welcome home, Draco, she said motherly. These are my friends, said Draco, introducing us as we climbed off Buckbeak. Oh, I know Sirius and Gilderoy, she laughed. I dated Gilderoy back in Wizard College. Who's the girl? Oh, that's Crystal Potter, explained Draco. She used to be Harry Potter, but then she got turned into a girl by accident. I felt worried that Narcissa might not like me because her husband was a Death Eater. What if she wouldn't want me to see Draco anymore? That's nice, said Narcissa. Are you dating? Yes, said Draco. She's the only thing that matters to me in the world, so if you don't want us to be together... No, it's okay with me, she said. Just don't let your father find out. Well, he's trapped at Hogwarts right now, so you don't have to worry about that, said Gilderoy. We all went into the house and went to sleep in beds. The next morning I went downstairs to have breakfast with Draco and everybody. Gilderoy was grilling waffles with cantaloupe. Hey, he said. Hey, I said back. Gilderoy is actually quite a good chef, said Narcissa happily. Yeah, I went into cooking after I couldn't be a professor after that sexist idiot Ron used his wand accidentally to erase my memories on purpose, explained Gilderoy. Suddenly, Sirius walked in the room holding up the Daily Prophet in his hand. I have bad news, he said. The Death Eaters took over Hogwarts after we left. The Dementors are on their side now, so Auras can't go in to stop them. And they've made Ron the new headmaster. No, I shouted in shock. They wouldn't do that. I'm afraid they did, said Sirius heavily. Ron's abolished the houses, and he's divided the school between boys and girls. Boys get the half of the Defense Against Dark Arts classroom, the Quidditch pitch, the library, and the prefect's bathroom, while the girls get the divination classroom, kitchens, and sewing machine room. He also made the girls' uniform a bikini. That's sexist, I yelled. Yeah, said Sirius sadly. He's so sexist he's forbidden girls from even doing their own writing. He goes around shouting, stop writing, over and over again, because he's actually brain damaged and he needs a lobotomy. It's actually quite sad, I admitted. If he weren't so sexist, I'd almost feel sorry for him. Yeah, Sirius repeated. Anyway, Ginny's come to stay with us because Ron expelled her, as well as all the girls who aren't hot. Ginny walked in the room looking miserable. I can't believe I'm related to that sexist monster, said Ginny, almost on the verge of tears. Hey, it's okay, I told her. We'll go shopping and everything will be better. Yeah, let's do that, she said cheerfully. We ran out the door together. Chapter 17, Shopping Day 2. Outside, we saw McGonagall. What are you doing here? I asked in surprise. I heard about what happened to Hogwarts, she said sadly. The only way to get rid of the Death Eaters there is with Dumbledore and Hagrid, but Fudge sent them to a degayification camp. He doesn't understand Dumbledore and Hagrid will lose all their powers if they become straight. We have to stop him, I shouted. That's homophobic. Yeah, we have to get them out of there as soon as possible, she said. Every second counts. Where were you and Ginny going anyway? We were going to go shopping, I said. Okay, I'll go shopping with you guys, said McGonagall. Then we'll get Draco and go straight to the degayification camp. Me, Ginny, and McGonagall went to Nordstrom together. I got a grenade Birkin bag, blue jeans, and green duffel camisole, an olive green teddy, tweedless cupless bra, and a dark brown slip with tennis shoes to match. Ginny got a gray jean t-shirt, an orange and red spandex cocktail dress, light green go-go boots with an orange leather toga. McGonagall got a sleeveless tube top, olive green platform shoes, an orange drab berry thong, purple French maid outfit, orange unitard with polka dots, and a lustring sky blue microskirt. After that, we went to Malfoy Manor to get Draco and take him to the degayification camp. Chapter 18, The Degayification Camp. Hey Draco, I said, walking into his bedroom without knocking. We have to go save— Ah! I screamed. Draco was naked! Knock next time, he yelled as he pulled a pillow in front of his huge member. Sorry, I said in an embarrassed voice. Anyway, we have to go save Hagrid and Dumbledore from a degayification camp. Okay, let me get dressed first, he said. I left the room. Later, Draco came out wearing an orange and blue pinstripe suit with an olive clip-on tie and purple clogs. He looked so sexy, I felt like I was melting before him. Okay, let's go, said McGonagall as she lit a fire in the middle of the room. The house is on fire, screamed Narcissa, running around waving her arms. Do something! Gilderoy was about to do a water spell, and McGonagall held up her hand. We're doing flu powder, she explained. Oh, never mind then, said Narcissa as fire consumed the couch. McGonagall put the flu powder in it, and it turned green. Me, Ginny, Draco, and McGonagall went in it. Degayification camp, she said. Then we all felt all the flu powder effects and came out of a campfire next to a tent. I hear voices down there, said Ginny. We followed her down the tent to see a bunch of gay people sitting around another campfire. Hagrid and Dumbledore were with them. Fenrir Greyback was standing there wearing a park ranger outfit, and all the gay people had forced to wear unfashionable clothes. Today we'll learn how to be ungay, said Fenrir. Suddenly, Pansy walked in wearing a slutty pink outfit. This is Natasha, I mean Megan, I mean Pansy, explained Fenrir. She is a girl. Now I want you all to stare at her boobs and treat her like an object. But I'm a cheerleader, yelled Pansy. Men need to think of girls as objects rather than people, said Fenrir in an evil voice. Otherwise it means they're gay. No, it doesn't, yelled Draco. That's sexist. I am straight, and I love Crystal as a person. That means you're gay, laughed Fenrir. You should join the camp too. Wait, what are you doing here anyway? Avada Kedavra, said McGonagall. The spell hit Fenrir, and he fell into the fire and burned up. No, screamed Pansy. She ran away. Now we'll take you all out of here, said McGonagall, as she put flu powder in the campfire. We all went into the campfire. Malfoy Manor, said McGonagall. We came out in the living room. It was now half burned down. Okay, you can put out the fire now, said McGonagall, as she and the gay people walked out of it, stepping over the charred remains of the front door. Sirius put out the fire and fixed the room with magic. Want to go up to my room, asked Draco. We could do it. I didn't know what to do. Okay, readers, should Draco and Crystal do it now, or should they save themselves for marriage? What do you think? Chapter 19, Sex. Haha, someone with bad grammar told me this was terrible and they called me a troll. If I was a troll, which I am not, wouldn't I already think it's terrible? BTW, Crystal is not a Mary Sue. I followed Draco upstairs. I was so excited that I skipped up the stairs 2 at a time. Draco threw off his jacket and shoes as he entered the room. I followed and locked the door. Then I turned to look at Draco and felt my face become red as I thought about what we were doing. Don't be shy, said Draco encouragingly. Just take off your clothes. Still blushing, I pulled off my orange sweater as Draco removed his dress shirt and screen socks. Then he dropped my pants and boxers onto the floor and stepped out of them. With Draco completely naked and obviously turned on, I worked up the courage to push my jeans and panties down together. By now my hands were shaking too much for me to undo my twee bra, so Draco confidently stepped up and did it for me. Once my bra was on the floor, it struck me that we were 2 naked teenagers standing right in front of each other. The urge to do it was really strong now. Draco gently took my hand and led me into his bed. I was naked with a boy. I came up to Draco and started snuggling in his manly arms. It felt strange but exciting. Then Draco kissed me. We continued to kiss as Draco inserted himself into me. Ah! Ah! I screamed as Draco went deeper and deeper into my pleasure hole. I felt like I was giving myself to him completely. After this, there would be nothing more I could possibly give, but no boy deserved it more than Draco. And then I had an orgasm. And then another. It was pleasure beyond pleasure. As I had more orgasms, I forgot about the world around me. Nothing existed anymore except for me and Draco and the incredible pleasure between my legs. I felt pure ecstasy as sex several more times before we finally got tired and collapsed. I was surprised I didn't notice how sweaty we had become. Draco threw away the gauzy sheets to give our bodies some cool air, but I didn't mind. I didn't feel embarrassed being naked in front of Draco anymore. I curled up in his still sweaty body and let him hold me. I didn't need any covering other than his manly arms. We fell asleep like that. That was the least sexy thing I've ever read.